Sparks fly in the ledge over the illegal use of the Alberta voters list.
We know that he withheld this data because he wanted to turn it into a political stunt to play some kind of gotcha.
She's waving her hands and pointing fingers because she knows she did something wrong.
Why do fringe parties even have access to this sensitive information? Plus, downtown businesses say they're being targeted by arsonists.
This is the third time in probably a year and a half that these bins have been fully set ablaze.
Growing frustration and growing fear about how bad this could get. And age is just a number for this outdoor enthusiast. At 5, he's already set his sights on becoming a junior ranger.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Premier Danielle Smith is facing some tough questions again today over Alberta's massive privacy breach. She admits the United Conservative Party caucus staffer attended an online meeting where the Alberta voter list was shown. The depth of the information shared and the apparent potential harm it could create is sending shockwaves all the way to Ottawa. Tim Brooke reports.
On April 16th, UCP Caucus Director of Stakeholder Relations Arundeep Sandhu attended this online meeting. In the meeting, participants were shown how to use a digital tool containing the personal information of 3 million Alberta voters.
The Premier has created an office culture where it's either okay to be incompetent and not know that's a problem, or to be so deeply unethical and not care. So, Premier, which is it?
Hear, hear.
The Premier argues Sandhu had a perfectly good reason to listen to the Centurion Project and to not report the data leak.
The person in question is a caucus staff member who does opposition research. He actually goes to a lot of events. There was no way for him to know that this data was illegal. That was not disclosed on the call.
Sandhu has ignored CTV News calls for comment. His attendance is now being scrutinized inside and outside of Alberta.
Well, it certainly threw my eyebrows to the ceiling, and I guess we're going to have to see what comes out of all of that.
We're receiving numerous calls about the matter, and we certainly are following what's going on in the media, and we're paying close attention. And if we should have some information available tomorrow about the work our office is doing in this regard.
Alberta's Privacy Commissioner is paying attention, but she's expressed some skepticism as to whether she has jurisdiction here.
If you look at a place like BC where they have more powers to investigate political parties, I think that could be a really good thing here.
There are calls for other change, too. The elector list legally belonged to the Republican Party of Alberta, but it illegally ended up with the Centurion Project. Some wonder why a fringe party had access in the first place, though don't expect that rule to be shifted anytime soon.
Having a list of electors is essential for democracy because it levels the playing field for smaller parties if you're trying to compete with the big juggernaut parties.
Tim joins us now. Tim, this is all currently being investigated by Elections Alberta and the RCMP.
Yes, Tara, but for many that's still not enough investigations. We actually have 16 different scholars here in Alberta from 6 different post-secondary institutions that have signed an open letter asking the government to launch a public inquiry. As of now, the province has not committed to doing that. In fact, Tara, we asked the transportation minister in Edmonton today about the chance of a public inquiry. He said the real investigation here should be into opposition leader Naheed Nenshi and when exactly he learned about this data leak. So as of now, I think it's pretty safe to say the chances of a public inquiry, Tara, slim to none.
Okay, Tim, thank you. We are learning more about the boy who drowned in Mahogany Lake on Sunday night. The 12-year-old was new to Canada, his family arriving here in search of a better life. He was laid to rest today. And now his heartbroken family is looking for help to remember their son. Tyson Fedor reports.
12-year-old Demilola Afolabi was a joyful young boy looking to become friends with everyone he met. His smile was a light to all those who knew him.
Dami is my third born. He's a good guy.
The Afolabi family laid Dami to rest at the Muslim cemetery of Calgary on Wednesday. The family immigrated to Canada at the end of March from Ghana.
Came in here, they had no one, and all of us here were like angels that came in their lives to see how best we can help them migrate into the best place to live and work, which is Calgary.
Dami was playing basketball with friends on Sunday before he jumped into the water off the dock at Mahogany Lake. but he failed to resurface. He did not know how to swim.
On Sunday, my son just came from the church and he said, "You want to play a little at the front of the house?" That's the end. I'll never see my son again. When I see my son, I saw his body lying now.
The Afolabi family moved to Calgary in search of a better life.
When we are about to leave Ghana, Daddy said, "Daddy, me, thank you for the good life you are going to give us in Canada." I didn't know that my son would never be with me at this moment anymore.
Dami had 3 siblings. His younger sister keeps asking for him.
The sister calls him Da. Da. The little sister, who's just a few years old, was Dami changes her diapers and everything. He was asking, "Where is Da?"
This recent death has sparked calls for improved safety at the lake. Firefighters found the boy under 6 meters of water.
It does beg a bigger question, though, in terms of the type of support and infrastructure and equipment we provide for our Calgary Police and Calgary Fire Department.
As for the family, they are left reeling with grief, a father left to carry on with the memory of a lost son.
I wish my son should be the one to bury me. I don't know that way around.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
A crowdfunding campaign has been launched to help the family. There have been 5 drowning deaths in Mahogany Lake since 2013. A 73-year-old man died in a crash on the Trans-Canada Highway east of Calgary today. A car and truck collided just east of Chestermere around 8 a.m. Mounties say the man driving one of the vehicles died at the scene. A 19-year-old woman driving the other vehicle was treated for her injuries in hospital. Police are looking into how it happened. Speed is being looked at as a possible factor in a motorcycle crash that left a man fighting for his life last night. The man in his 20s was driving the motorcycle on Shriners Road Northwest, just west of Baker Park, when the vehicle left the road around 8:30 p.m. Police say the man has life-threatening injuries. Firefighters had to cut the roof off a vehicle after a crash this morning near Seaton. A car and an SUV crashed at the intersection of Seaton Drive and 52nd Street Southeast just before 8 a.m. One person was injured and unable to get out, so a rescue truck was called in to remove the roof, and crews started planning what they needed to get that patient out. The fire department says that planning helped ensure a speedy recovery.
By communicating that between the officers, the rescue crew knew exactly what was going to happen when they arrived on scene. They can just get the tools into the hands of the firefighters, and that's why the extrication happened so quickly.
That patient was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Several people were assessed at the scene, but nobody else was seriously hurt. Calgary police are investigating. Downtown Calgary business owners are raising the alarm after a string of alleyway and dumpster fires in the city's core. Some say the incidents are becoming more frequent, leaving behind property damage, smoke damage, and growing concerns about safety. Mark Villani has more on how the city is responding.
Caught on video, this man seen here is lighting cardboard on fire as flames flicker from the dumpsters at Bottle Screw Bill's pub on 10th Avenue. Management says it's sadly becoming a more frequent occurrence.
3 times in the last 6 weeks.
And it's not just dumpsters. People are lighting debris on fire along the nearby train tracks.
It's frightening. We're getting pretty angry and upset about the lack of interest and focus that we're getting from people that could help us.
Calgary fire crews responded to more than 700 garbage fires last year, averaging about 37 each month.
These fires can escalate very quickly, often turn in, a dumpster fire into a building fire, which puts people and our members at risk.
But Calgary's Downtown Association says it's making progress. More than 24 bins from alleyways in the core were removed, and its Ladybug truck initiative aimed to clean the area. As part of this work, we've recommended local businesses remove pallets or easily flammable materials from their alleys. While it's unfortunate that incidents do happen, we've been pleased at the reduction in frequency of occurrences since removing bins.
We have not noticed an increase in response in any way, shape, or form.
This is the aftermath of a fire lit in the Stephen Avenue alleyway. Leslie Aquino says it caused smoke damage to her restaurant and that the city isn't taking her concerns seriously.
And that means safety, security, patrolling, lighting. These are pretty simple asks that we've been doing for the last year and a half.
Hanif Mulji agrees. He's owned Downtown Drug Mart for almost 40 years and worries his entire building could quite literally go up in flames.
I have noticed an increase in the last few years. Something like this can cause harm, to anybody, right? I mean, fire is dangerous.
But as fires continue to occur, the city says it still has work to do.
Make sure that we provide better safety, better lighting, removing the problem spots where we are seeing some of this social disorder.
We'd like to, see some results or hear that someone's arrested or at least that they're trying.
And Mark is downtown tonight. So, Mark, how are police responding to these incidents?
Well, Tara, Calgary Police says it's aware of these ongoing incidents. That includes these most recent fires, as well as a string of arson fires that occurred last year in the Beltline, featuring Bridget Bar, Salt and Brick, as well as Greta Bar, where flames did a lot of damage to the properties there. Now, CPS says it is taking a specialized approach here. They're also working collaboratively with the Calgary Fire Department and other partners, including Alpha House and other social housing partners, to make sure that they can give as many options to people that are roaming the streets late at night and hopefully help prevent this from happening in the future. Tara.
Okay, Mark Villani reporting. Mark, thank you.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
Well, Danielle, it's probably grass fires we need to be really wary of this time of year, too. We're getting warm weather, but it's pretty dry out there.
It is pretty dry, but late day showers are in our forecast. We already have them going on in parts of the city right now, and it's the same idea as we head into tomorrow as well. So really nice throughout the day, but then later in the day we run into what you see by this live shot here. The clouds roll in. Today they rolled in or started to filter in around 2 in the afternoon. We got to a high of 22 today. We're now sitting at 20. There you go. There's these isolated showers that are starting to make their way down. When we look at these next 24 hours, again, that similar idea for tomorrow. 11 degrees to kick off the day, and then later in the day, we run into the chance of showers or a non-severe thunderstorm and gusts around 40 kilometers per hour. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. The Stampede says the grandstand show this July will feature Western grit and glamour.
It's all right, ain't worried about nothing. Sun came up and the river's still running.
Alberta's own High Valley will headline the show. That will run from July 3rd to 12th at GMC Stadium after the Chuck Wagon races. The Young Canadians and the Grandstand Band will remain at the heart of the show. There will also be a new drone and pyrotechnic experience set to music by High Valley, followed by fireworks. Tickets are on sale now. Still to come, police say it was a targeted attack. Homicide detectives investigate a death in the Southwest after a body is discovered early this morning. Also ahead, court releases the 911 call from the fatal shooting of a Good Samaritan. You'll hear the details that the survivor provided to police. Homicide detectives are investigating a death in the southwest community of Woodlands. Police say it was targeted, but some residents are concerned about recent incidents in a neighborhood where they used to feel safe. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Police tape surrounded several homes and businesses in Woodlands Wednesday morning where police are investigating a homicide. Officers arrived around 5:40 a.m. and say one person died after an early morning fight.
When we arrived, we located a single individual who was deceased as a result of that assault.
Police taped off the road from Woodhill Court to Wood Park Boulevard and a nearby strip mall where officers collected evidence in the back alley next to a home. The person who lives there didn't hear the fight, first realizing something had happened when she saw emergency crews and the victim near her front lawn.
You could see the body covered in the EMS, and you could clearly see that they had tried to do some life-saving measures. Really unfortunate. I really feel for the victim and for his family.
One neighbor who lives across the street looked out her window around 5 a.m. when she heard yelling, one person claiming another did something to their brother.
There's 4 of them, but the 2 were, really arguing. And then it just I went back to bed and I heard them a little bit, but then it kind of faded. When we came up this morning, like I said, it's very upsetting because somebody's lost their kid today.
You can see people were moving.
Security video shows what appeared to be flashlights in that alley around 4 in the morning. The owner of a vape shop in the strip mall has had cameras up since opening 2 years ago, but added security measures to his store due to other recent incidents.
They robbed the circle cable with a gun before. They break into the pub.
Police believe Wednesday's death was a targeted attack, but some residents are still shaken.
It's kind of scary when it happens right across the street from your house.
Some people who live on the street say it's a safe neighborhood.
Individual dispute that happened.
But others say there has been a recent shift.
Over the years, we've seen a lot more crime, a lot of theft, tire slashing.
Detectives continue to investigate what led to the death. The autopsy of the victim is scheduled for Thursday morning. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
And anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact police. An audio recording of the 2024 911 call following a fatal shooting east of Conrich has been obtained by CTV. The call is from Matthew Andres, who was doing roadside surveying work when he was shot in the arm in an attempted carjacking. Andres ran for his life as the two accused, Arthur Penner and Blake Strawberry, lit their own car on fire before attempting to flee in Andres' vehicle. The truck became stuck, so Penner and Strawberry attempted another carjacking on 45-year-old Colin Huff. Huff was fatally shot 3 times.
I've been shot in the arm.
Okay, is anybody else shot?
Yes.
How many people?
And the gunman also shot him.
Penner and Strawberry are charged with second-degree murder and attempted murder. They have pled not guilty.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast. We got some pretty nice days in there.
We do. And the number one story that I think you're going to love is the coldest we're looking at getting for daytime highs in the next 10 days is 18 degrees. Many days over these next 10 days will be much like what we had today in those lower 20s. So not too hot, definitely not too cold, because a normal daytime high for this time of year is 15 in the city. We're above normal. It was a beautiful day, lots of sunshine, calm winds, and well, by 2 o'clock the clouds did start to roll in and we had that late day stability. So this is really what we're looking at for tomorrow as well. So we have this ridge of high pressure, but it's not strong enough to rule that out for that late day activity. We're at 20 degrees now in the city as we start to drop off a little bit for the day. 22 in Lethbridge, Milk River, and 19 in Medicine Hat. All right, looking at the maximum wind gusts for today, just around that 30 mark. Banff, Red Deer, Calgary, Brooks, not even registering any gusts in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat at the reporting stations, and closer to 60. So yes, a little breezy for sure for the Pincher Creek area. Here's a look at radar and satellite, and there's that late day instability that's making its way down the QE2, mainly in the form of rainfall, just isolated pockets of rain. Closer to Rocky Mountain House a couple of hours ago, there was a little non-severe thunderstorm. For Calgary, yes, we have some isolated rainfall in the city, but most of it is evaporating before it hits the ground. It's called Virgo, where you can see it falling from the sky, but it doesn't quite make it to us at the surface. So we have the potential of some isolated showers and even a non-severe thunderstorm, although that's less likely for Calgary, right up until about 8 o'clock tonight. Then it makes its way off to the east, down the Trans-Canada, and by that point it's just isolated showers, very brief if you see it at all off to the east there. All right, then heading into Thursday. For tomorrow morning, we'll start off with sunshine in the city, south of the city, closer to Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, the chance of showers for the morning hours. And then later in the day, there you go again, that late day instability, showers possible, less likely to see thunderstorm activity in Calgary, more likely to see it to the far south, and then it makes its way out. Friday, pretty stable, just a mix of sun and cloud, and then Saturday will kick off the day with a little bit of rain, and then that clears out pretty quickly. So yes, we have a few little pockets of rain here and there sneaking in, but overall we have very nice weather in our longer range forecast. This is your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. At least 20 degrees for the next couple of days. Late day shower possible around the supper hours tomorrow. A mix of sun and cloud for Friday. Likely starting the day off on Saturday with that isolated shower, but then clearing out and setting us up for around that 20 mark again for the weekend as well. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. If you're musically inclined, or really even if you're not, there is a fun new space to check out at Studio Bell. This is Play Lab, a free space on the main floor of Studio Bell. The 3 zones of Play Lab offer different experiences. The first section features strings, percussion, wind, and electronic instruments. The second is a learn to play area with recorded lessons. And then the third is the soundstage, where people can conduct their own symphony. The museum is hoping to attract broad interest.
Play Lab is open during our regular museum hours, 10 to 5 daily, with special programming on the weekends. So check out our website, studiobell.ca/feature exhibitions, to find out the full calendar of events.
Yeah, while you're there, you can check out the other programming that Studio Bell offers, like concerts, recording studios, and tours. Calgary police boarded up a problem house today, but it only happened after officers were called there 75 times. We'll hear from some relieved neighbors. And a Calgary lawyer is charged with sexual exploitation. Investigators say the victims were children. A Calgary criminal defense lawyer is charged with several child sexual exploitation offenses. Police arrested 46-year-old Jordan Bonner on April 30th. He's accused of using Snapchat to engage in sexually explicit conversations with children between the ages of 11 and 15. Bonner is charged with making, possessing, and sharing child sexual exploitation materials. Police search his home and his office and say their investigation is ongoing while they conduct a forensic analysis of his electronic devices. Bonner appears in court tomorrow. More victims have come forward in an ongoing sex assault investigation in Calgary and Edmonton targeting dating apps. Last April, a woman told Edmonton police she was drugged and sexually assaulted by a man after meeting him on a dating app. 56-year-old William McMullen was charged in March and is now in jail. Police say 8 more women have come forward and additional sex assault charges have been laid. A problem home in Forest Lawn has been shut down and 14 people were kicked out after the latest public disturbance. It is a big relief for people who live nearby. Tyler Barrow has more.
Forest Lawn residents are celebrating. A home in the neighborhood has been shut down by Alberta sheriffs.
It's a big relief, big relief.
Definitely nice to see something be done.
14 people were living in the 8-bedroom home. Sheriffs say 2 people living here died from suspected overdoses in recent years. During the 9-month investigation, authorities say there was steady foot traffic at all hours. People coming and going appeared heavily intoxicated, and it appeared drug use and drug trafficking was happening here.
In September 2025, Calgary police officers conducted a search warrant at the property where they located weapons, drug paraphernalia, and drugs inside.
Last year, police came to the house 75 times. The investigation was initiated after community members made complaints.
The landlord constantly coming by at night, really weird times, just kind of random behavior. But it started to become a pattern.
The same landlord had another home shut down in December, which was just a few blocks away. The property will be boarded up and fenced off for 90 days. Probationary measures will be in place for an additional 2 years. For community members, it brings a sense of safety.
A lot safer, because I was not safe, didn't feel safe here or in my backyard.
The neighborhood will be quieter, less traffic.
Prior to the closure of the home, authorities did work with the 14 individuals to find them alternative housing. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
And part of the order ensures those residents cannot live there during the 2-year probation period. An Edmonton man has been sentenced for charges related to hundreds of stolen catalytic converters. Techie Ati pleaded guilty to several charges relating to more than 700 catalytic converters found in an Edmonton scrapyard 2 years ago. Police also recovered nearly $10,000 in cash. Ati was sentenced to 4 years and 3 months in jail. 15 months of that sentence were for the stolen catalytic converters. A 5-year-old who loves trees, animals, and insects is on track for an impressive international award. We'll explain next. A Calgary kindergarten student is hoping his love of nature can propel him to become North America's next junior ranger. Jack Lonstra is currently sitting in second place in the contest and needs every vote he can muster. Kevin Green caught up with him this morning, hiking through a park in southwest Calgary.
In Griffith Woods Park in southwest Calgary, 5-year-old Jack Lanstra moves quickly through the trees, climbing logs, searching for insects, and talking excitedly about animals, forests, and why he loves being outside. These days, he's learning about bee hummingbirds.
It's a hummingbird that is almost the size of a bee, and its nest is as big as a golf ball. And its eggs are the size of a coffee bean.
Jack also protects the natural spaces he loves, stopping to clean up garbage during walks in the woods.
Me and my grandma were walking, and then when we were walking, we decided to get a garbage bag. So we got a garbage bag and then went for a walk. And and we got lots of garbage, that big tire.
Jack is currently in second place across North America in the National Wildlife Federation's Junior Ranger competition. The program, hosted by wildlife expert Jeff Corwin, encourages kids to learn about conservation and protecting the natural world.
So we told him, not about the competition, but that there was a chance to be part of a group of kids around the world who care about protecting nature and the wild spaces, and he got really excited about that.
Jack's mom says his love of nature started early and says he feels most at home outside, reminding his family to slow down and enjoy the forest around them. Jack says for him, the forest is also a keeper of family memories.
I think about my grandpa because he liked trees, and then my mom liked trees, and then I liked trees.
The winner of the Junior Ranger competition receives a cash prize, a feature in Ranger Rick magazine, and an expedition with Jeff Corwin. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Voting in the competition continues until tomorrow, and if you'd like to cast a ballot for Jack, we have posted a link on our website. He would be a perfect little ranger.
He's a smart little guy,
No
huh?
kidding. Love him. What a great story. All right, well, we have more news to share about this year's Stampede entertainment. It comes from two very popular Irish dancers who've gone viral for their street performances.
I left Oklahoma, driving in a Pontiac, just about.
Now that we have you hooked, we're going to be performing at the Calgary Stampede this summer, July 3rd to 12th.
Yeah, the Gardner brothers, Michael and Matthew, they are 5-time world champion Irish dancers. They have over 9 million followers online, blending traditional Irish dance with modern music and tap. They live in Denver now. They still tour with Riverdance. You'll be able to see them this summer at the Calgary Stampede. They are part of the Grandstand show.
They're good.
I
They're
see their
really
videos
good.
pop up on Instagram all the time. They're really, really good.
Well, it looks like AI. Like, who moves their feet like that?
They're
That's
really
some
good.
talent.
Yeah. Well, we all have to do laundry, and no matter how efficient you are, it is still important to read the labels.
You see my nice leopard print jumper I got last week? I just washed it. You ready? Come on. Yeah.
Oh, cute.
That's what happens when you wash your jumper without following the care instructions. Her lovely new leopard print sweater would maybe fit a kid.
That's happened
maybe
to
the
me.
cat.
Fit a cat or a little
it's-
dog, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's ruined now. At least she's taking it well.
I was going to say, at least she's in really good spirits, because I was not laughing like that when that happened to me.
What happened to you? Oh, okay.
So
yes.
you've done that with clothes at home.
Do tell,
A
please.
few times.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Well, running a marathon is a pretty big deal, and this lady crossed the line in style.
Oh, yeah.
This is the finish line of a half marathon in South Africa. This runner decided to celebrate her feat by breaking out some dance moves. She knew she wasn't going to win a medal, so, I mean, what does it matter?
Yeah.
She finished the 21K run in style. The crowd was clapping and cheering her on.
You do that, you can have all the attitude you want.
I agree. You
right?
just ran 21 clicks. You finish it however you want.
And
for her.
let's be honest, we're showing this lady not any of the people that won medals.
That's right.
So that's the way to finish.
Yeah. Good for her. Just ahead, how a massive AI firm violated serious Canadian laws. We'll tell you about the private data that was collected without permission.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera. The winds have picked up over the last little bit, now around 30, 35 kilometers per hour, but it was a calm day until until now. All right, currently 20 degrees. Today's high 22, well above normal, because normal is 15 degrees for this time of year, but of course not quite record breaking. The record for this day is still holding at 27.8 from 1891. And we're over 15 hours of daylight. So there we go. We're getting there. We're getting the warmth. We're getting lots of minutes of it. We got to 22 in the city today, still sitting at 22 in Lethbridge and Milk River. And the winds have been relatively calm, really, for much of the day. Max gust in Pincher Creek, though, was 57 kilometers per hour. All communities in southern Alberta Gusts around 40 to even 50 kilometers per hour for tomorrow, so it'll be a little windier, especially in the afternoon. We have this little bit of instability moving down QE2 and Calgary. Mostly in Calgary, it's evaporating before it hits the ground, but still some isolated pockets of some raindrops out there. It's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. All right, it's calm overnight, calm for tomorrow. A lot of sunshine once again, a high of at least 20. And then by the supper hours, just like today, we run into the chance of a late day shower or a non-severe thunderstorm in the city. Tomorrow for a Salmon Arm, Kamloops, Kelowna, 26, 27, 28. That's some heat for you. 22 for Edmonton and Red Deer tomorrow. And Olds down through Calgary, High River to Lethbridge and Pincher Creek is where we have our most likely chance of seeing a late day shower or non-severe thunderstorm tomorrow. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. The Premier is defending her party officials' actions surrounding the list of electors controversy. Danielle Smith says a UCP caucus staffer who attended a separatist meeting did not know he was being shown leaked data. The NDP criticizes the Premier's office for not acting on the breach. A 12-year-old boy who drowned in Mahogany Lake was laid to rest today. Damilola Afolabi's family says he was trying to make friends after they moved from Ghana just 2 months ago. And a 73-year-old man was killed and a 19-year-old woman was injured in a crash on the Trans-Canada Highway near Chestermere today. An investigation into ChatGPT, the popular AI assistant that many people use, found that the company that created it violated privacy laws across the country. CTV senior correspondent Judy Trin has more on the damning indictment from Canada's information and privacy watchdogs.
After an investigation that took 3 years, privacy commissioners from the federal government, BC, Alberta, and Quebec found that OpenAI violated privacy laws across the country as it developed its ChatGPT technology.
Our joint investigation highlights the importance of prioritizing privacy in the development, deployment, and ongoing evolution of artificial intelligence.
The joint investigation looked at ChatGPT's 3.5 and 4.0 models and found a lack of accountability. The models over-collected personal information. Users weren't asked for consent, false information was found in searches, and users couldn't correct the info.
To initially train ChatGPT, OpenAI scraped vast amounts of personal information from publicly accessible websites. This was widespread and indiscriminate.
Concerns about the lack of safeguards around ChatGPT have made headlines following the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting that showed OpenAI didn't flag troubling interactions to police. The company is facing several class action lawsuits in Canada and the U.S., but government regulation is lagging. Canada's privacy laws were developed more than 20 years ago.
We have also called on our government to regulate AI uses. The kind of regulation would require companies like OpenAI to evaluate the risks of this technology and to mitigate those risks before launch.
OpenAI was collecting sensitive information, such as health data and political views. The privacy watchdog says the company did fix some of those issues in later versions of its ChatGPT. The federal government is in the process of drafting new AI legislation, but for now, it's relying on private companies to police themselves. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Calgary-based Suncor is increasing production of jet fuel in response to the worldwide shortage. The energy giant released its quarterly financial report today. It says its refinery in Montreal started producing jet fuel in December with the hope of selling it to local airports. But the crisis in the Middle East has led to a shortage of jet fuel, and now Suncor is exporting to markets in Europe and the Caribbean. It has also increased its exports of diesel fuel from its port in Vancouver. The U.S. is feeling the effects of Canadians refusing to buy American liquor. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez explains.
The U.S. Distilled Spirits Council says exports fell almost 4% last year, and that's led to job losses in the industry. About 1,000 jobs were lost at American distilleries between September of 2024 and September of 2025. The council says spirit sales to Canada were down 63% in 2025. Some provinces pulled American products off shelves in response to Washington's tariffs. And now the EU is threatening to tariff liquor products from the U.S. this summer. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.34. West Texas Intermediate down over $7 to $95.08. Western Canadian Select down over $3 to $80.87. And the TSX spiked 414 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Just ask any millennial how difficult it is these days to find affordable housing. New data from StatsCan shows more people in their 30s and 40s are living at home when compared to how it was for their older siblings and parents at the same age. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
Even with a good job in the trades, Eric Rodriguez says he's struggling to afford getting back in the housing market.
There used to be a time and an age in this country where working hard and making a good wage would get you ahead and would get you a house, and you'd be able to go on all these trips on the weekends with the kids. But now it just seems that we're working harder than ever, and we're just basically keeping our head above water.
He's not surprised to hear about a new report from Statistics Canada that showed twice as many millennials live with their parents than baby boomers did when they were in the same 25 to 39 age bracket.
A broad change across the generations, and it's not explicitly down to just one factor.
Affordability is often top of mind when it comes to millennial home ownership. Statistics Canada says other factors include a cultural shift with a more diverse, younger population more likely to live with parents, and the concept of life stretching, where Canadians are spending longer on each stage of life.
They're having to go to post-secondary more. They pay more for the privilege to then land jobs that actually pay less than baby boomers earned after adjusting for inflation, to then face way higher housing prices.
How have we managed to screw things up so badly that despite all the correct ingredients in Canada, we have managed to make housing less achievable for younger people?
That expert pointing to improved building technology and lots of land per capita as reasons Canadians should be able to afford homes.
The paper was done using 2021 data as the latest data, and since then, the affordability picture has worsened.
Statistics Canada tells us they hope to provide more concrete information on affordability challenges in the housing market with future research. Meanwhile, the latest data is currently being collected with the 2026 census. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Ted Turner, the billionaire media mogul who founded CNN, has died. Turner Enterprises announced the news today, saying he passed peacefully surrounded by family. The Atlanta businessman and philanthropist built a media empire that included cable channels and sports teams like the Atlanta Braves. He was also an avid environmentalist. Turner battled Lewy body dementia in recent years. He was 87. The CFL season isn't too far away, and proof of that, the Stampeders' rookie camp got started. Glenn takes a look for us next. The Professional Women's Hockey League is expanding next season with a new team in Detroit. Detroit hosted the PWHL's first neutral site game during the league's inaugural season in 2024. That saw a combined attendance of over 53,000 people across the 4 games. The addition comes a year after adding franchises in Seattle and Vancouver. The league says it plans to expand into 2 to 4 more markets. Got to get one in Calgary. CFL rookie camps opened up today in the CFL. Glenn's back with us. The rookies don't have a lot of time to shine, Glenn.
Tara, the rookies are on the field for just 3 days, and then on Sunday, main camp opens up. Hard to believe the CFL season just around the corner. A total of 43 players took to the field at McMahon Stadium for rookie camps. The quarterbacks are also able to join them for these sessions. It's hoped that these players can provide competition when the veterans open up camp on Sunday, and maybe some of them will be good enough to make the roster. Head coach Dave Dickinson says there wasn't a lot of energy out there, but that's to be expected. These players are just trying to get a feel of what to expect.
So the big thing is try to build a foundation of knowledge so that when we install or get going with the main guys, that they're a little bit ahead of maybe what a true rookie would be. You got to try to make it as equal a playing field as possible, but it's tough. 3 days. I mean, in serious, it's just really difficult. But if you have a chance, try the guys that can make it through the first 2 cuts, and get to that first preseason. That's when football players are decided.
And that first preseason game is Monday the 18th. The Stamps will host the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Once again, main camp gets underway Sunday at McMahon Stadium. Well, breaking in new golf clubs can be a bit of a challenge. Tonight on Golf Tips, Scott tries to make it a little easier on us.
Mackenzie Meadows Golf Tips with PGA Pro Scott Orban.
We're on the 11th hole in Mackenzie Meadows. Bit of a breezy day here today. Scott, I got some new clubs this year. Got the Cobra Optum, got the Hybrid, got the 3-wood. A little bit difference in these clubs, though, right? And how to hit them?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'll take you through how they are a little bit different.
Yep.
But the breezy day, how about the hair? It's not moving.
You finally listened to me, I know, right?
White Rabbit Beauty in Seton. Tanya there, she hooked me up with some lacquer.
Yeah.
Because I said I really need to look as good as Glenn Campbell.
Well, there you go.
So when I set up with these, the hybrid, this is a 3 hybrid. So it's really replacing your 3 iron that we don't see many of. And you can see it's quite a bit more upright than the 3-wood. So the 3-wood is going to be a much more around your swing, a little more shallow swing. This one's going to be a little more of an upright swing. So golfers, when you're trying to make things exactly the same, you really have to let the shaft and how these things set up dictate how you swing the golf club. All right. So this one's going to be a little more shallow, and this one's going to be a little steeper. All right. So see if that makes any sense. So when you go to hit your new hybrid, because you're asking me about that earlier, come and hit the hybrid.
Yeah.
Glenn, take a practice swing, just set up, and it's okay to be a little steeper on this than your 3-wood. If you're thinking about hitting it like your 3-wood, you're probably going to be manipulating it in a funny way. So hybrid, a little more like your iron. Little hit down on the ball. Boy, I wish we had that top tracer, because that guy would have been saying, wow, top tracer, look how straight that baby is.
Look at it, eh?
Yeah. So do you get a sense of that feel, Glenn?
Yep.
Okay. And then with this one, it's just a little more shallow. You're still hitting down on the ball.
Right.
But just the way it's a longer club, so it pushes you back, and that's what makes your swing a little different, is the setup of the club. Wow, that one's even better.
All right, next week on Golf Tips, the pitch shot over a bunker. Remember last week we told you about the Calgary Blizzard going to play Montreal in the Canadian Soccer Championship? Well, that game's tonight. The Blizzard trailing 3-0, but they've done pretty well. Remember, Montreal's an MLS squad.
Right. Good stuff, Glenn. Thank you. Lots of people could be at the driving range tonight, Danielle. It's beautiful out there.
A lot of golfing going on over these next 10 days at least, because it's going to be warm overall. And tomorrow, similar to today, a lot of sunshine, a high of at least 20, and then those late day showers or non-severe thunderstorms possible, especially by the supper hours. Friday, fairly stable, just a mix of sun and cloud. And then Saturday, likely some early morning showers and then clearing out. So a really nice weekend ahead as well. Showing you the 10-day trend, because this is very important. As you can see, for the next 10 days, most days will be in those low 20s. So pretty fantastic. Yes, lots of golfing will be happening. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. Kurt Ruwald sent this in. He was taking a walk after 2, obviously, because you can see a little more cloud cover along the bow. Pretty fantastic out there.
Beautiful.
Thanks for setting that.
Yeah, thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.